Nevertheless, these two teams play a very similar style. Speed, up and down the ice fast, and they also like to trap you in the neutral zone. So I don't know. This is going to be a fun style. Styles make fights. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's when you look at just kind of the grand scheme of things, right, with the round 2 in the NHL in general, I think this is going to be the closest series. This is the one where it just feels the best matched. Well, look at the standings and the points, right? Canes finished with 113, Devils finished with 112.
With 112.
It's right there.
They were right there neck and neck. And it took the Canes winning the final game of the regular season in order to be the winner of the Metropolitan Division over the Devils.
Yeah.
It gave them home ice advantage. We'll get into home ice advantage in a little bit. Or is there such thing as home ice advantage?
Foreshadowing.
In the playoffs. Now, EJ Hradek of the NHL Network did talk about the Devils and the Hurricanes. They do have a history, these two franchises, playing against each other in the postseason, including on Stanley Cup runs for the Carolina Hurricanes. These two teams have played each other a lot in the playoffs in the past. EJ Hradek, NHL Network, on the Devils and Hurricanes being a bigger rivalry in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Devils and the Canes have had some really good playoff series in the past, and the Canes have had a lot of success against the Devils. I don't think the Devils fans were that eager to see the Carolina Hurricanes come around because they've dealt some ugly blows in the past.
That's EJ Hradek of the NHL Network, who joined Adam Gold earlier today. We're actually going to talk to Jamie Hirsch of the NHL Network at 3:30. By the way, as well, for Panthers fans, quick note, Scott Fitterer, general manager, is going to join us at 4 o'clock today. But there is a history between these two teams, and that's something that I like, is that even for Canes fans who are new to the area, maybe you're new to the team, if you start looking back at the history of these franchises in the playoffs against each other, when the Canes made a Stanley Cup run in 2006, they had to get through Martin Brodeur and the Devils. When they went to the Stanley Cup in 2002, the Stanley Cup Finals, they lost to Detroit, but they still had to get through the Devils to get there. So these franchises have seen each other quite a few times in the postseason, and that excites me a little bit because I think it's an opportunity for these two franchises. I know a lot of Canes fans, including myself, we want to see the Rangers. We want to run that back from last season, but this is still going to be an atmosphere between these two teams that's going to be contentious, but in a good way.
No, I think there's like respect there, but obviously when you are a franchise that's trying to break through and win your first Stanley Cup in more than 20 years for the Devils, like you are nervous to face a team that has had your number in the postseason. I know they haven't met since 2009, but this is their fifth total meeting in the fifth series in the postseason between the two, and the Canes have won 3 in a row. 02, 06, 09. Like that's if this were flipped and it's the Canes looking at the Devils, Canes fans might be a little bit nervous right now. But instead, they're in a position where, I don't know, you kind of have that subliminal, kind of subconscious kind of, advantage behind the scenes. Does that mean anything to any of the players or the coaches? I don't know. But for fans, it's nice.
Well, we're going to get into the goaltending because Canes didn't skate this morning. We're going to get to the goaltending here a little bit. But there's been an underlying factor in all 3 of those series, 02, 06, 09. Rod Brind'Amour. Rod Brind'Amour knows how to beat the New Jersey Devils. People want to talk, who's the X factor? It's Rod.
He's who's going to be out there? Who's starting in the first line? Oh, is that Rod's music? Oh, he comes out in the gear and ready to go.
Yeah, he might do that, but no. But that is actually an underlying thing. Is actually Rod Brind'Amour knowing the history that he has had with the Devils, and Rod Brind'Amour actually spoke about that earlier regarding his history against the Devils as a player with the Canes.
And like you just said, I'm the only one. Nobody remembers any of that stuff. So, but yeah, we've had definitely. I mean, I've had some fond memories of the series against these guys, and hopefully we'll, I guess, have another one. That would be great. So we know it's going to be tough, and they got a great team.
Yes, the Devils do have a great team, and they finished 3rd in the league in points in the regular season, just behind the Carolina Hurricanes, who are 2nd. We'll get into how the Canes have home ice advantage throughout the rest of the playoffs, and things may have shook out bracket-wise, if you want to say, quote, air quotes, bracket-wise, for the Carolina Hurricanes in just a moment. But Rod is that underlying factor in all of this.
Yes.
And there's a reason why his name is up there in the rafters. There's a reason why he's a Hall of Famer with this franchise. There's a reason why he should be a Hall of Famer
in general. Yeah.
But he has that history against the Devils. Now, again, the players are completely different. Everything's completely different since then. I get that. but it still
matters.
It still matters.
It matters in a sense.
It still matters in a sense.
No, I absolutely agree. I mean, you look at what he accomplished. I mean, he with the Canes, he played in all 4 series that they did, had 4 goals scored, and 0-1 had the Game 4 overtime winner. Canes going to lose that series, but still, he has that history. He's someone that the players can lean on. He's someone that it gives you confidence, in my opinion. If I was a player for him in this situation, it would give me confidence going against the Devils.
All right, third thing going into this game. All right, Rob Brindamore did not disclose this morning who the Canes starting goaltender is going to be. The Carolina Hurricanes did not have a morning skate today, which makes sense because after beating the New York Islanders in Game 6 on Friday, they had Saturday off, they had Sunday off, they practiced Monday, and they practiced yesterday.
Yep.
Don't need to do a morning skate today. Everyone's fresh and healthy and ready to go. So we don't know who is starting in goal for the Carolina Hurricanes. We don't. Now, Freddie Anderson in Game 6 against the New York Islanders is the first time that we've seen in 2 seasons Freddie Anderson actually play in the playoffs for the Carolina Hurricanes, something that he was brought here to do. Rob Brindamore has said it as much that, hey, we brought in Freddie to be the guy in the playoffs. Nothing against Antti Raanta. Raanta was good in those first 5 games against the New York Islanders, but in Game 6, Freddie Anderson shot 33 of 34 shots in a 2-1 overtime win.
Out of his mind.
He was great. He was fantastic. He kept the game 1-0 before Sebastian Aho tied the game in the middle of the third period. The Canes in the first 2 periods didn't play well at all, but Freddie kept them right there, and they were able to come back and get the win. So my question for you, Luis Fernandez, who starts in goal and why? I need a why.
Okay, and why?
I need a why.
I think you mentioned it in that.
Okay.
And this is what I will go with. Is it has to be Freddie Anderson.
Okay.
And I think it's because that's the reason you brought him here.
Sure.
You saw what he did in Game 6. You ride that momentum. You see what you have. Fortunately for the Canes, they do have 2 goalkeepers that can fill that void. They can come in there if needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go with Freddie just because of what he was able to do in Game 6. I think it's a great sign to him, continue to boost his confidence. See if he can do it again. I mean, what do you have to lose in that situation? Besides the Game 1.
Besides Game 1, I will say this though.
Yeah.
Anderson did not play against the Devils at all this season.
Fair.
Raanta only made 1 start. Now the Canes won. It was on New Year's Day. Canes won at 5-4 in a shootout. Raanta had an .875 save percentage in that game, so it didn't play very well.
No.
It's a New Year's Day game. Pyotr Kochetkov started the other 3 games, went 1-2. So I don't know. You can angle this both ways. Advantage Freddie because you know what? They haven't seen me yet this year. Or is it advantage Devils in the sense of Freddie hasn't seen the Devils yet this year in terms of I don't know how they play, their speed, and all that. If that makes sense.
It does. No, and I think it's more advantage.
You can angle it either way.
I think it's more advantage them not seeing Freddie this year, personally.
All right. I'll take your word on that.